What's up, everybody? It's your girl Annette, virginhairqueen.com. I'm just pumping out videos today, so if you see this shirt, same day. I wanted to give some hair tips because, like the last video I did, I get a lot of questions about hair tips. So I'm just gonna start off real quick because I don't want this video to be lengthy and all that good stuff. I did want to show you some hair that I have in inventory. I hardly keep a lot of inventory in, but this is the Brazil. No, this is actually Peruvian. I can tell by the touch. This is Peruvian deep wave. And this is Peruvian deep wave. And actually, I got them to source a looser deep wave because the person that actually wants these bundles didn't want a really defined deep wave. This is some hair that I've been testing it out. I have a couple of, I call them my crash test dummies, where they buy the hair at a very discounted price. I pay the rest of it, and they test it out for me. They test it out for like 6 months. So we're coming up on the time where I'm feeling confident that we're able to push this out. And this is raw Cambodian hair, and as you can see, it's beautiful. I love this hair. And this bundle right here, you can tell that the person had static electricity, so that's an easy fix. But yeah, I really like this hair. All right, first tip. What advice can you give to a new hair buyer? I tell all of my virgin hair virgins, stay away from the deep wave and the curly hair. If you're going straight from the beauty supply store hair to virgin hair, and you go to deep wave and curly, you're going to swear to God that somebody stole your money. You're going to swear to God that it's bad hair, all of that good stuff. Because curly and deep wave hair, it takes time to get to know that hair. And what I mean is, all deep wave and all curly hair is not created equal. Some hair is so bomb, you don't have to do nothing to it, run your fingers through it, blah, blah, blah. Some of it, you got to braid it down at night. You got to water it because it loves moisture. So it's not like that wet and wavy hair that, you get from the beauty supply store. You got to really learn what products go well with that hair, what products that hair likes. So, for instance, like I tell people, if you're going to get any kind of curly hair, deep wave hair, you gotta have your curling perfecting cream, and you gotta have a water bottle, and you gotta have this. You don't really necessarily have to have this, but I really like how it kind of just brings the hair back to life, because that hair has a tendency to try to dry on you a little faster than anything else. New bundles. I said this in my previous video, but when you get new bundles, I suggest that you clarify your bundles. And I clarify mine with Suave, daily clarifying. And that will take all of the stuff off of it. You got to realize that this hair is coming from another country. You want to take all of that stuff off of that hair. You want to take the scent off the hair. You want to take any coating off the hair that they may have put on there you didn't know they put on there. Now, I've been working with my sourcer for forever. I don't have that issue. But for you all that may not be buying from me, I want you to clarify your bundles as soon as you get them, and then I want you to deep condition them. Therefore, you're putting the moisture back into those bundles. Another tip that I have is when the seasons change, summer, fall, spring, winter, do a deep conditioning mask on your bundles. I don't care if you have like 4 or 5 units around your house and you're only wearing 1 unit at that time. Make it a habit to deep condition all of your hair with a mask at least 4 times a year. That way you're rejuvenating the hair. You got to realize that this hair is not attached to a scalp. It is not getting the nutrients that it needs to be vibrant, lively, flowy, all of that stuff. So you have to put that back in it. So 4 times a year is a pretty good amount. Curly hair and deep wave hair in the winter. I tell people, if you're not getting a wig unit, I would stay away from that hair in the winter. The reason being is because the hair loves water. which means in the morning time when you get up to go to work or go to school or whatever you have to do, in most cases you're going to have to spray some water on your hair. You will get sick. You will get sick in the wintertime if you're not wearing, if you're not wearing a wig unit. Something that you're able to take off at night, spray down at night so it can be ready for you in the morning. Now, a lot of my customers, they still do it, but they braid it down at night. And what they do is they put like a little water and a little perfecting cream in their hands, and they'll do like 2-strand twist all the way around their head and they put a satin bonnet on. I mean, that's all up to you. My suggestion is, in the wintertime, if it's not a wig unit, don't do it. Another tip that I would give is just do your research. Know what you want. Know what you're talking about. Know how many bundles you need. There's so much information out there. I'm on YouTube right now. YouTube is a dictionary. You can learn all of this stuff. Don't go to someone that's selling you hair asking them what you need. Now you can run some questions by them once you have an understanding of what you're buying. But don't leave it up to them to educate you on what you need, because you got to realize these are salespeople. This is marketing. They're going to tell you whatever they need to tell you to get you to buy. Just like this customer right here that actually is going to get this hair. She was like, I need 4 bundles of hair. And I said, what inches do you need? And she was like 16. The person told me I needed 4 bundles. I said, no, you only need 2 bundles of hair when you're using a closure. Now, if you weren't using a closure, I would say get 3 bundles. But I could have easily sold her 4 bundles of hair that she didn't need because she didn't do her research and find out. Now, another person may not be that honest with her, and they would have sold her the 4 bundles and made a buttload of money off of her. Do the burn test. When you get bundles, this is what I do with all bundles. And I don't care how long I've been getting it from the source, because people get comfortable. I take about 5 strands of hair and I cut it. And I put it in a glass dish and I set it on fire. And if it don't turn to ash, somebody gonna have an issue. And that's what I do. If it crumbles up, it turns beady and bally, and when you touch it, it's hard and it doesn't disintegrate, that has synthetic fibers in it. Another tip that I would give is when you start to notice that the movement of your hair is changing, it's not flowing the way it used to. Like when you used to turn your head, it used to go all kinds of places with you. And now when you turn your head, it's kind of like, you don't really move like that. It's time for a co-wash. You have to understand that, especially us African Americans, our hair loves product. At least mine does. This hair, most of the time it doesn't like products. It loves minimal product. So if we're accustomed to putting a lot of stuff on the hair, that buildup weighs it down. Just, you have to keep that in mind when you're buying virgin hair, that the origin of which it comes from determines how much you have to wash that hair. And if you're putting product on the hair is going to start behaving in a manner in which it's not meant to behave. Can we swim in the hair is a question that I get all the time. Yes, you can absolutely swim in the hair. It is human hair. It is virgin hair. But what I will tell you is, if you know you're going to the beach and if you know you're going to the pool and you're going to be swimming in this hair, do a deep conditioning mask before you go swimming. And the reason for that being is you really want to coat that hair. You really want to put all the moisture in it so that when you get into that water and you're doing this, in the chlorine and all of that, that the chlorine is not deeply penetrating that hair and damaging it. Soon as you finish swimming, do whatever you... Now, for instance, if you're on a vacation for 5 days and you swimming for 5 days, I'm not telling you to do a deep condition every time you get out of the pool. But what I'm telling you is make sure that you wash that hair every time you get out of chlorine. And at the end of your vacation, do a deep conditioning mask again. And that way, you're putting your hair back to the status, to the flow that it was before you submerged it in chlorine water, salt water, what have you. This is something that I tell people. You don't have to listen to it, but this is what I've learned a long time ago. Deep wave curly hair. The longer the lengths, the heavier it is, the looser the curl. Especially, now that one is not a good example because that is a loose deep wave. But there are deep waves that I have that are really like coiled. The longer the lengths, that coil is going to stretch. Just like a slinky. It's going to stretch out. I tell people that if you want a consistent curl pattern all the way through your hair, your install, get the same lengths all the way around or stay 2 inches within each other. So for instance, if you want 24-inch bundles, I would say do 2 24s or 2 22s or 2 24s, 2 26, whatever. I think I've gave you enough tips just to say that I have showed my face back on this video. I hope you all come on over to my website. You can ask me any questions that you have. Don't forget that I have wholesale starting at 5 bundles. I always try to keep some kind of bundle deal on my website. Again, I'm Lynette, the owner of virginhairqueen.com, and I hope you all have a fabulous day. Bye, y'all.